Hello, my dears. It's Katie, and I'm here today to have a discussion about readathons and readalongs. And primarily, I'm going to focus on my relationship to readathons and readalongs, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about some things that I've seen in the community over the last couple of years regarding readathons and readalongs. So first things first. If you don't know what a readathon or readalong is, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but basically it's exactly what it sounds like. A person or a group of people will create a readathon based on a book or a series or a theme of some kind, and you'll have certain prompts that go with it, and it'll be for a specific length of time, and you read as much as you possibly can, or all of the prompts, or follow certain paths in order to satisfy something during that period of time. The most common readathon lengths are typically a week, but some other really popular ones are also a month long. The least popular that I have seen are year-long readathons, but they do exist, and I actually really like the year-long ones because they allow you to spend more time reading a thing. Touching a little bit on my relationship with readathons and readalongs, I really like them. I tend to, as a personal preference, prefer month-long or year-long readathons because I get more time to spend with the thing that I'm reading, rather than the week ones, which are just kind of like literally read as much as you possibly can and then be like, what did I just read? At least that's my experience. Some of my favorite readathons that I've participated in while being on BookTube are the ones that are like themed. So for instance, I just did the Make Your Myth Taker readathon, which I absolutely loved. Last year I did another Myth Take read-along thing. That one was 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. And then I also did the Classics-a-thon, which was a month for the last 2 years. But this year they've kind of expanded it into a year-long kind of community readathon thing, which I really like. So those are readathons. Read-alongs, on the other hand, tend to focus on like a series or a book that you specifically read. It has more of a book club feel to them. So for instance, this year I participated in the Austen Anonymous read-along, where we read all of Jane Austen's novels in the order they were written in. So we started with Northanger Abbey and we ended with Persuasion. So it's not when they were published, it was when they were written, because most books or bind-ups of Austen's works put them in publication order, but it was really interesting to see how she grew as a writer as she went along in her writing career. And so I mean, they're different from that perspective. It's still a time frame because we said, oh, we're gonna do one novel a month, but then there are things like the Elderling Along that are doing one book every 2 months. So it's things like that. And out of the two, I think, depending on the thing that I'm reading, I would say I tend to prefer read-alongs because you get more time depending on what you're reading. You get more time to spend with a work. My relationship to readathons is a complicated one. I love them because I love the prompts and I love the community aspect to it. I love interacting with people who are also participating and just talking with other people who may or may not have read the same book as you, or getting other book recommendations, finding other people in the community to watch and to follow and everything. It's just a really, really fun time. Like, people will create Discord servers for it or Twitter pages and like have other fun activities that go along with it. And just from that aspect, I absolutely love readathons. But from the aspect of time and feeling like you have to read as much as you possibly can during that period of time is sometimes very disheartening for me. I'm a slower reader, and I process things in a different way than other people. And I feel like everybody from all angles gets a certain kind of pressure to read as much as you possibly can. And if you don't finish within that time period, you're deemed to have failed a readathon. And I don't think that's right. Like, readathons are meant to promote reading, promote community interaction, and just have fun with it. But it's kind of turned into a competitive thing. There have been quite a few readathons over the last couple of years that have been very competitive, and kind of putting you into different groups, and you compete against each other for some kind of prize or whatnot. And while those are fun, because it's fun to figure out what group you would belong in and like take the quizzes, and there are some of them have done like merch and things, all of that's really, really cool, and like the hype surrounding that is real and very exciting. But at the same time, like, when you have that extra competitive aspect to it, it makes it a little bit less enjoyable to actually do the reading thing. Because you're just like, I am reading as much as I can, so not only so I don't disappoint my team, but so I can win. And that's not conducive for everybody. Like, for me, for instance, when I participated in some of like the group readathons, it was a very loose participation. It was like, yes, I am this thing, but I'm not doing all of these other activities. I am not participating in these games or these challenges or quizzes or any of that, because it's just too overwhelming for me with my life, my daily life, plus trying to read and still enjoy what I'm reading and get sleep. So it's very overwhelming and very, it's almost panic inducing sometimes, because it's like, if I do not finish what I said I'm going to finish, I will be mad at myself. I will feel bad about myself, and I just won't, I'm just feel like I'm trying to do too much at once. So while I do love readathons and the prompts that they bring and the community aspect, I'm more of the mindset that I'd rather just do them at my own pace. And I've kind of started doing that. I mean, it's hard to get out of the mindset of, I've not completed it in this time period, I have extended it and everything. But, just starting to realize what it is about readathons that I do like is changing my perspective on them a little bit. Is it going to be a walk in the park, flip switch situation? No. It is going to take time in order to get me out of the mindset of finish it in this time period. If you don't, you're a failure kind of a thing. And I mean, that kind of goes along with society too. I mean, you're in school atmosphere, and if you don't finish your assignment on time, there are specific things that could happen to you, whatever. So I think it's kind of frustrating that it should translate over into an enjoyment thing, if you know what I mean. So kind of what I've slowly started doing is just continuing on the readathons. I'm inserting things like reading for pleasure, but I'm still participating. So it's like, yes, I will start it during the time frame, but I will continue it afterwards, because it's like, I'm still enjoying participating in this thing. I want to finish this thing, but I want to do it at a pace that is more reasonable for me and for my life, rather than being constrained to these rules or these arbitrary rules that have been put in place. So for instance, the Believe in the Impossible Readathon happened this past May, the second one. I participated in the first one, and that one was a month-long one, and I had a really great time with it. I was just, I don't know, I had a little bit more time, I had a little bit more of a desire to read those kinds of books at that point. So the one in May, I was able to complete several of the prompts, but I did not complete all of the prompts in order to get my path. So I decided to continue it a little bit into June, and I'm now carrying it over into July as well. And who knows, maybe it'll be continued until we start the next round in November. I mean, I'm enjoying participating, but I just don't have the time, energy, or in some cases, that's just not what I'm in the mood for reading at that particular moment. So I'm just kind of creating my own thing. And it's something that I'm finding I like, but at the same time, I'm like, I always have that niggling in the back of my mind of, Katie, you didn't finish this on time. Katie, you're still not finishing this. Why are you not finishing this? But sometimes I can make it go away just a little bit. So, I mean, I like that. And I mean, that's kind of where I'm going. It's like, yes, I'm still participating in this. Yes, I'm still a community member. I'm just doing things that work for me more. With my slow reading rate and my processing disorder and my work life and the other activities that I do besides reading, I want to be a part of this, but it doesn't work for me. And if I wanted to be part of it and wanted to do all of those other things, I might not even get to do a readathon, or I might not even get to read like one book. Like I might depending on the length and everything. And that's another thing. It really depends on the books that I've picked or that I'm in the mood for at any given time. And it's frustrating sometimes, like being a semi-mood reader, but also liking to plan things out. It's kind of been difficult figuring out how that's going to work. And if a book that I thought I was going to love takes me a little bit longer to read because I didn't end up liking it as much, or I just ended up not having as much time, you never know what life's going to throw at you. If this year has taught us anything, you really do not know what life is going to throw at you. And so yeah, readathons I'm kind of just doing my own thing with them. Now, readalongs are something that I, as I said earlier, tend to like a little bit more because they usually span longer and you're only focusing on one thing at that specific time. It's not like you're reading multiple things for this specific thing in 1 month or a week or insert time period. It's usually a month or 2 months, which is really nice. And I really like it's like an elevated buddy read. You're reading it with a group of people, and then you have a live show that you either participate in or you listen in on to hear other people's thoughts on them. And it's nice because it's just like as I said, an elevated book club or an elevated buddy read, depending on how many people are participating with you. And yet, it depends on the book or series that people are reading, whether or not I am more likely or less likely to participate. And here's why. So, you guys know that I love and adore the Realm of the Elderlings series by Robin Hobb. Like, welcome to my channel. This is my thing. This is my brand. This shelf behind me is my brand, literally. And this year, there is this read-along called the Elderling Along. And my guess is it's going to probably span at least 2, if not 3 years, because it's a very hefty series. And if they're reading one book every 2 months, it's going to take them a while to get through. I made the active decision to not participate for several reasons. One, in a lot of ways, participating in a huge read-along like that with several hosts and everyone under the sun participating and reading it within a specific time frame, and then just like having a live show with specific people afterwards, and like you can chat in the comments. It's a different kind of reading. It's a different kind of experience. I mean, when I read them, I took my time with them. I had one friend that I talked to about them with, and we went in depth. Like after I finished Assassin's Fate, we had a video chat, And we literally only talked about that book for 6 hours and picked it apart bit by bit by bit. And I would also like text my thoughts throughout my reading and being like, reactions and things of that sort. And while the Elderling Along hosts have created a Discord page where you can chat and everything, and then they, have their final thoughts at the end in a live show, it almost feels like not everyone would get to say something in a deep, meaningful way. I mean, it's good because, let's put it this way. There are pros and cons to all of this. The pros to a readathon like that is people get exposed to it, people start having those conversations, people meet other people that have those. But the cons are you don't get to have that, like necessarily have a fulfilling literary analysis reading experience, picking it apart bit by bit if that's what you choose to do. You miss things. You might not pick up on things right away. Like some people might, some other people might not. And it's just too many people at once saying all the things all the time. There's definitely things that people are going to miss. But that said, you get to meet those people and you might form a new friendship and you might pick apart things on the side. So I mean, it's good from different respects. But I'm actually doing my own reread of them with one other person at the moment, because I've already read the whole series. I know everything, and just having a close friend read it with me along the side is for me going to be a little bit more meaningful than getting in a group of 20 plus people to just chat about it. No, I mean, do I participate in book clubs? Yes. Sometimes I feel that even the book club that I'm part of, which has like less than 10 people, depending on the book that we read, is a little bit chaotic. It's like, yeah, we're talking about this. We, get our general thoughts out there, but we don't all process and analyze and think or even have the same reading experience as another person. So I mean, it's really interesting from that perspective, and that's something that I love about these kinds of things, is just getting different perspectives and being like, oh, I didn't think about that. Like it enriches your experience talking to someone else about what you're reading. And yeah, I really love it. So, I mean, basically where this conversation is going is readathons just put on so much pressure, and for people who are not fast readers or do not have the time to just and only just read all the time, it's very overwhelming and exhausting at times trying to keep up with everybody. So I've just decided to participate, but kind of at my own pace. And read-alongs, I tend to really like. I find them to be a few and far between situation, but I really, really do enjoy them when I get a second, depending on what I'm reading. So, for instance, Austin Anonymous was delightful. I loved reading all of Austin's works over the last 6 months. It's been really, really lovely. One book, I could usually get through them, depending on the book, if I'd read it or not before, fairly quickly. There were some I liked more than others, and like the ones that I didn't like, I tended to want to get through as fast as possible, whereas the ones I really liked, I wanted to savor a little bit more and get some time to talk to people. But, it was really nice because I was able to, have my little side conversations and talk to a few people who I knew had read them or was also reading along with us, and just have an extra conversation about what I was reading. So I mean, readalongs are really lovely, and as I said, I also really like readathons because the prompts are so fun and the community aspect is just delightful. And then last is just a normal buddy read with one or two friends. I've done several buddy reads throughout this year, both with BookTube friends and non-BookTube friends, and it's just been really great. And we kind of, depending on the group, take our time with the books that we're reading. Like, I'm rereading a lot of Tolkien's works this year. I reread The Hobbit back in February. I got through that one pretty quickly because the person I was reading it with really, really loved it as much as I do. And then we've been making our way through The Lord of the Rings, and, while we finished Fellowship in the arbitrary time period that we set it to, Two Towers and Return of the King are taking us a little bit longer, and that's fine. I tend to be one of those people who will wait for other people because it's like, we're reading this together. I'm in no rush. You shouldn't be in a rush either. We should really just sit back and enjoy this in whatever way works for us. So I tend to love buddy reads the most because they can be the most relaxed and chill thing. Then I also mentioned that there was this year-long readathon that's happening. It's like the Classics Community something. I'll link their information down below if you guys want to go check them out. But basically, it's like a challenge where you read so many classics in whatever form or another. I am chosen to do 1 classics per month for the year, so I'll be reading 12 classics total. And so far, I counted my first 6 as being all of the Austen books, because I just wanted to do something that was not extra overwhelming on top of participating in that read-along. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely finding a few people to talk to about some of the books that I've read. I mean, obviously all the Austen books, but now we're in July, and I'm going to be picking up some other classic. I haven't decided which one yet, and kind of going from there. And I'm really enjoying that. It's a year long, so I mean, I can read kind of at my own pace, but also I'm keeping myself regimented, 1 classic a month. You can do that. It's totally doable, at least for me. For some other people, they might want to do 1 classic per 2 or 3 months. I mean, honestly, that's like the whole goal of this readathon, read-along thing that's going on, is just to promote classics and get people to read more of them because they do have so much value. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I know this is a little bit rambly, but just to recap briefly, readathons, too much pressure sometimes, so I'm doing my own pace kind of a thing. Read-alongs, I really like them, depending on what we're reading, more my pace, and just a little bit able to be more laid back. Buddy reads are my epitome of reading with other people. You get to really get to know people that way. You get to just do things at your own pace, be more laid back, while also building friendships and small communities. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say because I am totally rambling at this point. I could go on, but I will spare you. But I'd be curious to hear any and all thoughts that you have on this topic down below. And other than that, you guys know the drill. I have all of my social media down below in the description, despite me mostly taking a hiatus, at least in regards to Twitter. I am still regularly on Goodreads. But other than that, I hope you guys are all staying well and healthy and safe in all of this. And I will catch you later in another video for you guys again soon. Bye!